copy exactly what we're doing for our introduction, you can. So
My story.
for our assignments, you go to your assignments tab and you'll see it says your chipmunk writing. And how you add your chipmunk writing is you click where it says my work and you click add work. Some of you have already done this. About 13 of you have already started your chipmunk writing, which is great. And then you click on the new file because we're making something brand new. And then we're making a Word document. So we click on Word document and you give it a name. You could call it Chipmunk. You could call it Mighty Chipmunk. You can call it Alvin, whatever you want to call it because it's going to turn it in. So we have our work ready to go.
Does it have to have chipmunk in it?
Not for your title.
Clase.
You can give it whatever name you want. Now, whatever you type in here, remember, it saves automatically. So even if there's a power outage and your computer turns off, it will still save it. So we're going to look at our chipmunk example now, or I'm sorry, our woodpecker example, and we're going to use that for our chipmunk. Do I have a volunteer who can read the first paragraph for a raffle ticket for us? All right. Mr. Derek, can you read that first paragraph for us? The woodpecker is?
Can you please zoom in for me?
Yep.
Go a little off the side.
All right. Can you read that first paragraph now, Derek?
Yep. The woodpecker is a type of bird that lives in the forests of North America. Its head has some red coloring, and its soft body feathers. Woodpeckers are popular for breaking cheese-eating bugs.
Keep going.
Body feathers can be black, white, or brown. It spends its time hunting for insects and pecking on the trunk of trees.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Derek. I'll get you your raffle ticket. So this very first paragraph is your introduction, and it just gives you some information about a woodpecker. So if someone has never seen it before, they would look at this and they kind of get an idea. Now, Fernanda, we're not going to be writing about woodpeckers. What are we going to be writing about? Chipmunks. So we can use this same structure, but just change some ideas around for our introduction. So instead of woodpecker, we could put chipmunk. And Osvaldo, the chipmunk is not a type of bird. What could we put instead of saying it's a type of bird?
Oh, they got confused and thought they were writing about chipmunk. Sorry, woodpeckers, right?
Well, this was our example from last week or the week before, where we looked at someone's good example about woodpeckers. So now we're taking this example and we can follow its structure. We can just change some stuff to show it's about chipmunks now. So Osvaldo, what do you think? They're not a kind of chipmunk. So what could we put in here? I'm sorry, they're not a kind of bird. What could we say chipmunk's a kind of? Is it a kind of snake, a kind of reptile? What do you think?
Wait, hold on. Like a mammal?
Yeah, we could say they're a kind of mammal. So I like that. So that's what I'm going to type for this introduction paragraph. The chipmunk is a type of mammal that lives in the forest. And we also had our notes, shrubbery or shrubs and bushes. And now we can put where they live. Does anyone remember, where do chipmunks live? Do they live in North America? Do they live in other places? So where else could we put? What do you think, Amy?
I think I know.
Whoa, you're all echoey.
Hold on, I got it. Russia?
Ah, so we could put in Russia. So that is one place they live.
I'm thinking in Japan.
So I don't know about Japan, so I'll put a question mark by it, or I can highlight it, or just do something so I know I can go back and check to see if that's correct. So we can go on and go back to our text and look, but I remember they lived in North America as well as Russia. There might be more, so I can go back and check to make sure, but I'm just getting my ideas down. So we have that first sentence shows us what they are, where they live. So now I can look at what they did for this next sentence. Its head has some red coloring, and its soft body feathers can be black, brown, white. So I can use that to just kind of give a basic description of the chipmunk. I'm not going to talk about like its puffy cheeks, how it stores nuts in them, because that's a specific detail. This introduction is just getting people to think about what a chipmunk is or looks like. So Derek, can you give us a basic description of a chipmunk? What do they look like?
About 5 stripes on their back. They have brown fur, and sometimes you'll even see one who has cheeks 3 times the size of his face.
So that's like a specific detail. So we're gonna leave that when we actually start talking about this appearance, when we get more details about how it looks.
I've also
Now-
wanted to say something else.
I'm gonna have you hold on to it, and if there's time at the end, I'll let you, okay, Derek?
Why can't I say something though?
Now, there's one thing that a chipmunk has that's kind of important. It's at its back side. It's on its back. Raise your hand if you know what that is. Amy, what is it?
Black and white stripes on its back.
So we got that stripes part, so I'm gonna put black and white stripes. But it has even something more. Your dog has it, your cat has it. Shout out if you know what it is.
Fur.
Fur.
Nope. Birds even have it, but people don't.
Feathers,
A tail.
a
Who
tail.
said tail?
A tail.
Yeah, it has a tail. So that tail is something that describes a chipmunk. It's something obvious. I'm going to put that in that description at the beginning.
You know,
too.
the bird's tail is just some feathers.
I know, but it still has a tail. So
Feathers!
So I now have done my example of giving a brief description of what it looks like. So now I want to give a brief description about maybe one of its important behaviors, because it's telling me right here something important about the woodpecker, how it acts. So I want to think of something important about how my chipmunk acts, or something my chipmunk does. So think about everything that we read. What do you think the most important behavior, the most important thing a chipmunk does is? What do you think, Mr. Cesar?
Chipmunks fight for their food.
So we could put that in there. They fight over their food. And then I also maybe want to say what the food is, because I did that with this example for woodpeckers with insects. So I'm going to put those nuts. They fight over their food. So I'm going to put they fight over their food. And then I'm also going to put, because they talked about a lot, what they do for a good chunk of their time. They hibernate. So I'm going to put which they store for the winter time. So that is my introduction. That is telling me kind of, whoa, what is happening? That is with a bushy tail. They have with a bushy tail. They fight over their food, which they, man, I was doing such a bad job writing. Something happened. Something. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that later because I don't know. Which they store for the winter time. Okay, I think that looks right. Does that look right to you guys? I don't know what was
But
going
why
on.
is there a blue underlined under winter?
So winter
time?
time, it's saying it should actually have a hyphen or it should be combined.
Oh, okay.
It actually doesn't matter, but it's saying professionally, that's what it thinks it should do. So that is a perfect example of an introduction. If you guys want, it's going to be uploaded for afternoon Zoom. You guys can even copy that paragraph down and have your first paragraph done. Now, we're going to work on our conclusion tomorrow, how we ended up, but the main part that you guys will have to be responsible for is the paragraph about how the chipmunk looks and how it acts. Derek, what fact do you want to share or what comment do you want to share with us?
Sunshine, can we have a test where we have to write a paragraph about spiders?
Would you like that, Derek?
Yes, I have some really good facts about spiders.
Sure. I won't make it a test, but I'll put an extra credit assignment on at the end of our nature unit for that. All right. Okay.
Wait, what? When will you put it on? Do you put it on after the Zoom so I can
Sure.
do it?
Sure. I'll put it on after the Zoom for you, bud. Christopher.
Why aren't you at the school?
Did you miss our morning Zoom on Monday? I guess so. So the school is closed down for 3 days because they have to do what's called contact tracing. So they have to check up on people who are sick and let their parents and family know so they stay home. But there was so many people in the Reno Sparks area that they're behind on it. So they just told everyone at our school to stay home for 3 days so they could get caught up on letting people know. So there's actually no one at school this week, not even the principal or the secretaries. All right, now what I need is 4 volunteers that can stay on after this Zoom that think they are okay